are ITC Cybersecurity, empowering businesses with robust cybersecurity protection.
Welcome to the Ciphered Reality Podcast from our ITC Cybersecurity Small Businesses Partner in Proactive Cybersecurity. I'm Mike Rotundo here with Mari Cherry, as always, my fabulous co-host, where we're going to unravel the mysteries of cybersecurity one bite at a time, from digital heists to hacker exploits. We uncover online threats and the strategies to stay ahead, whether you're an IT pro, business owner, or just safeguarding your personal junk. This is your guide to the cyber world. Today, we're going to go through some cybersecurity news and discuss what, Mari?
Student and parent cyber awareness.
For the home crowd.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
fun.
On that note, the news.
Okay. This is from the Hacker News. Okay, new Godrat Trojan targets trading firms using steganography and ghostrat code. So the malicious activity involves the distribution of malicious SCR screensaver files disguised as financial documents via Skype Messenger.
Mhm.
Okay, so that doesn't sound great.
No.
The attacks, which have been active as recently as August 12th, 2025, super recent. That's just the last
Not a
few days.
week.
Yeah, employ a technique called steganography to conceal within image files shellcode used to download the malware from a command and control server. So the screensaver artifacts have been detected since September 9th last year, targeting countries and territories like Hong Kong, the United Arab Emirates, and Lebanon. Malaysia and Jordan. So there's a few places.
Oh, I think it's pretty fascinating that they were going to push this over Skype. I don't know who, a lot of people that still use Skype for business for this kind of stuff, but then again, I don't know everybody.
Is Skype still a thing?
Apparently, yeah. And that may be
Okay.
in those type of countries, and that may be why.
It says to be based on Ghostrat. Godrat follows a plugin-based approach to augment its functionality in order to harvest sensitive information and deliver secondary payloads like
Mhm.
async rat.
That's RAT stands for remote access Trojan. So
Okay. The screensaver files act as a self-extricating executable, incorporating various embedded files, including a malicious DLL that's side-loaded by a legitimate executable. Okay, so anyway, I like this one because I like the steganography aspect. That's tricky. That's
yeah.
kind of fun. A little mean, but they are all a little mean. We're
Yes, they
learning
are.
that. Um, anyway, thoughts?
Again, this is, again, they're leveraging an older technology in Skype that seems to be, geographically distributed.
Mhm.
I don't think you're seeing that much in the US, and definitely not
Mhm.
transferring documents over Skype Messenger, but I could be wrong. I don't know
Mhm.
on that one. But it's another brilliant thing. I mean, steganography, the use of that is just becoming more and more prevalent, and it's just dangerous because people think it's just a picture. It's just like people
Right.
leveraging PDFs, right? And PDFs are, they think, oh, it's safe, it's a PDF. It's not. And so um you just got to be really careful what you do. So, but again, this is another one of those things where it comes out, it loads something little, and then starts calling down different stages. GodRat is a takeoff on GhostRat. And GhostRat, what I found interesting
Mhm.
is that GhostRat's total construction and explanation about it is actually hosted on a website that's owned by Google that is about finding it's True Virus, I think, and or a True
Oh.
yeah, I think it's True Virus. That basically hosts, descriptions of viruses so you can track them down, and the code's out there. So it's like, and so what they're doing is they're basically taking this old original code and they're bolting new things onto it.
Yeah, it says this is nearly 2 decades old.
Yeah, 2007 when it first came out.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, it's working, right?
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
unfortunately.
Well, and we've seen this where there's a lot of old vulnerabilities that have come out and they're being recycled because people aren't patching for these things. Oh, this is old, no one's going to hack this. Well, actually, they are.
Can that work with like I guess not like Instagram?
I would venture to say that there's probably a lot of malware in Instagram. There's a lot of malware in Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I think we talk about that later today, but yeah, there's a lot of malware in those kinds of things. So
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
yeah, I mean, you
Okay.
got to be careful what you look at. Steganography is vile. It's
Yeah.
really nasty stuff.
Yeah. Wheels
And
are
that's why I
turning.
keep, well, and that's why I keep telling, people that don't, they get these text messages and they want, some girls and all that kind of stuff, and they download the pictures. Like, what the hell are you doing? You don't know this woman. This stuff is loaded with stuff, and they want to mess with
Genius.
the people that are sending them these texts, and it's like, don't wade into the deep end of the
Oh.
pool with just floaties on. You guys have no idea what you're going to do, because you're going to call me and say, "Oh, Mike, we're having all these problems." I'm going, "Yeah," and you're going to pay me this time because this is the fifth time I've had to fix it.
Anyway, okay. Moving on. Next one.
Yeah.
Why your security culture is critical to mitigating cyber risk.
Yes.
Okay. After 2 decades of developing increasingly mature security architectures, organizations are running up against a hard truth. Tools and technologies alone are not enough to mitigate cyber risk, which tracks, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, human
We talk
error
about that all the
is a
time.
real thing, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, well, let's see. As tech stacks have grown more sophisticated and capable, attackers have shifted their focus. They are no longer focusing on infrastructure vulnerabilities alone. Instead, they are increasingly exploiting human behavior.
Hmm.
In most modern breaches, the initial attack vector is not a zero-day technology exploit. It's exploiting vulnerabilities in people, which is a bummer, but we can't get rid of that.
No,
Not much to
no,
do about that.
no, there
Um,
isn't.
I did think this was interesting, though. According to Verizon's data breach investigation report, it says nearly 60% of all breaches in 2024 involved a human element.
Well, I
Oh,
remember, that's the thing that, the hacker guy I keep talking about, Chris Rock, talked about. It's like, I don't, it's all nice that they have all these vulnerabilities and stuff. Those are stocking stuffers. I go after the people, right? And
yeah.
he's a black hat mercenary. So, which means that, the training is just that much more important, right? I mean, and
Hmm.
it have to have training that engages them. You can't just come and talk to them at, high technical levels and say, these DLLs are going to do this, and, it's going to blow up your comm objects and blah, 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 blah. People are just going to glaze over, and they're going to hear Charlie Brown's teacher. Um, but what you need to explain to them is why this has real world application, why this is important to you, why is this, and what is this? And they may start asking you some technical questions, and there may be some technical questions they need to have. And that's why I think you need to have every cybersecurity training. There needs to be a time for Q&A with the cyber people. And I think that should happen
Yeah.
also maybe once or twice a year, where people can just come ask questions. And then, we always encourage it, but ask questions, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. Like, people believe little things and they get really dangerous.
Hmm.
So a little bit of
Yeah.
knowledge is a dangerous thing.
Right after the statistic they gave of
Mhm.
60%, it said, however, in that context, it's important to address a common misconception. The phrase, people are the weakest link, implies that employees are at fault when breaches arise. In most cases, that isn't the issue. Interesting.
Yeah.
Users aren't failing at security, their security environment is failing them. Oh.
Okay.
Too often, security is made unnecessarily complex. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I
Do you
agree
think
with
that's
that.
true? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
could be
You have to
simplified.
talk at people's level. It's kind of what I was talking about a couple of minutes ago, was that before you rebooted, um, was that, people make it too complicated. And if you give them a bunch of tech jargon, they're not going to know what you're talking about, and they're not going to care. You have to make training apply to people, and they need to understand why it matters to them.
Hmm.
And, it can't be that, the old Office Space line, remember what you do affects the company. No, it's remember what you do can affect the company because of X, Y, and Z. And if we get hacked and we're a small business and we have $1 million
Hmm.
hack, we're done. We're all out of
Yeah.
job. So you need to explain to them why these things matter and what they're trying to do. And you need to explain to them social engineering, and that
Hmm.
it's not just, emails and texts. but it's also everything from phishing and vishing, and it's voice, and it's the QR codes and everything else.
Yeah.
Um, I've told people for a long time, if you need 25% of what I could do to you on the computer, you wouldn't even turn the damn thing on. So,
All right. Moving
yeah,
on.
yeah,
Noodlephile.
noodle file.
Malware campaign expands global reach with copyright phishing lures.
Hmm.
Phishing lures.
Yep, I know. Reminds you of Disturbia.
It does.
Yeah,
It does. That first part of the movie is so sad. Anyway, the Noodlephile campaign, active for over a year, now leverages advanced spear phishing emails posing as copyright infringement notices.
yeah.
Okay. Because
Um,
that seems like it would be an important thing that maybe you should probably take care of really quick.
Yep.
Tailored with reconnaissance-derived details like a specific Facebook page, IDs, and company ownership information.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so Noodlephile was previously detailed by the cybersecurity vendor in May 2025, uncovering the attacker's use of fake artificial intelligence, which I thought was funny. Fake AI,
Oh yeah.
fake AI-powered tools as lures to propagate the malware. These counterfeit programs were found to be advertised on social media platforms like Facebook.
Yeah.
Um, they also said what's notable about the attack chain is that it leverages Telegram group descriptions as a dead drop resolver to fetch the actual server. Um, so I was going to ask you what that means, though. Dead drop resolver. I don't know what that means.
It puts it into a Telegram chat, so that's where it knows the data is there, and then it connects to the CNC from there.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so
So
yeah, it says it hosts the Stealer payload to challenge detection and takedown efforts, but I don't think I remember hearing that term before, and so I was like,
yeah,
don't know. I know what. Anyway, dead
yeah.
drop resolver.
That's a new
Revolver.
term, but yeah, it's like a dead drop somewhere. Like, I mean, think about go back to spy novels, right? They all have dead drops. Where if I'm spying on somebody and you're my contact, I go sit in a park bench and I lean down to tie my shoe and attach something to the bottom of the park bench, and then you come by an hour later and you're sitting there with your magazine, and you
Oh,
drop
I get it.
something and you pick something up. It's a dead drop, right? Because
Oh,
we're not
okay.
meeting, we're
Right.
just
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know what that term was at all. That's
yeah,
making more sense now because I'm like, I don't
yeah,
know what this. It's just
yeah,
words. It's just words. I don't know.
yeah.
Okay.
So, note to the people out there, if you're in near a sensitive military organization, military base or something like that, or in Washington, D.C., and you go to the same park bench every day and act strangely, and you might get a conversation from some young men at Langley that want to have an idea of what you're actually doing. Even though you may be completely innocent,
You never know.
yeah.
Anyway, that's all I've got for news. So if you have anything to add,
Well, again, this
fire
thing,
away.
comes back to Facebook. Why is Facebook dangerous? Because people put too much information on Facebook, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can do a full on a
Mm-hmm.
review of you and find out everything I want to know based on your Facebook page. For some people, it'll be everything from the kids' names to the kids' birthdays to your birthday to your anniversary to everything on their sun, because everybody wants to celebrate their anniversary and their birthday and everything else out there. And put it on Facebook so they can get those dopamine hits, the likes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're doing is you're giving cyber criminals a roadmap to build you and build a profile of you, a digital profile of you.
Ugh.
Um, and it's one of the ways they go about making a digital twin. What are the things you like? How do you make the comments? What do you do? I mean, so Facebook is dangerous. I think it's interesting that they use copyright information, though. You know, actually, all social media. I'm not picking on Facebook, but all social media. If you give too much information, is dangerous.
Oh yeah, for
Um,
sure.
yeah. Um, LinkedIn can be dangerous too. You got
Mm-hmm.
work anniversaries there, stuff like that. But generally, people
Mm-hmm.
aren't posting, happy birthday to me kind of stuff on LinkedIn. Or at least I don't know. I don't look at it. I got people for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, um,
Yeah, but you can yeah, you should be careful with what you post online. It can be used against you in multiple ways.
yeah. So, and then, along those veins, though, I mean, it's just like, but spear phishing is how they develop the spear phishing emails is by doing all the reconnaissance on Facebook. And if you're a business owner and you get this copyright notification that says, you know, you're you're in violation of copyright by your name or this image or whatever, you're going to look at it because,
Mm-hmm.
well, most people are going to look at it. I just throw them away or delete them or
Right,
whatever. I
right.
mean, as a business owner, you get those letters all the time saying, we're the people here to help you renew your domain. It's like, what are you talking about?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. That's funny.
Or they'll make up a government organization or something like that and say, we're here from, the United States government of domain registry or something like that. And busy people will look at that, and if they don't know, they'll actually dig into that stuff. They don't do it just to see if it'll happen. They do it consistently because some people bite on it.
Mm, that makes sense because it works. Yeah, it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
It's too bad.
And all that information, unfortunately, is out there. All that business information, you go to any corporation commission website, you can pull down a whole lot of information about every company.
Yep. Oh man.
So then you know who to do the analysis on.
All right. Yeah, so that's all I got for news.
Okay.
We can move on to the topic. Okay, topic for this episode is
Yeah.
student and parent cyber awareness. I did a top five again because apparently I really like doing top five.
Okay. That'll work.
It seems to, I don't know, seems like that's been a theme lately.
Are you familiar with Dave Letterman?
Yeah.
Late night host. He used to do his top 10 all every week, every night. So
Oh, okay. All
yeah.
right. Well,
So
maybe there you go. That's why.
yeah. So you're doing your top
Sure.
five, and that's all cool.
Okay, so number one,
Okay.
protecting personal information. So teach students to avoid oversharing online. We just talked
Mhm.
about that.
Yep.
And parents should model safe practices and review privacy settings together with their children.
No, I mean, I think that's a good thing. I mean, honestly, I think a lot of that stuff should be taught in the schools too, to reinforce with the parents, because a lot of parents don't know the
Right.
dangers that are out there. And I think kids, and I think we've talked about this before, that as soon as a kid has access to a computer, they need to have cybersecurity training at school, and
Hmm.
it needs to be done by the school, and it
Yeah.
should be done quarterly. And if you'd like someone to do it, RITC Cybersecurity would be glad to do it for you.
Oh,
Um,
hey, we could do that.
we could
That's a
actually
good
even
idea.
donate time for that, to be honest with you, for some of the schools out there to teach kids.
Write
That
that
may be
down.
something we want to do for the community at large. ISC Squared does do like training. I don't know if they go into schools or not, but they did for a long time support an organization that did training for schools. But I think we could donate a couple hours a year to help out schools. But
Yeah.
doing it, parents and kids doing it together, but I still think the schools should be involved too. I think they really need to educate on this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you had something that was like, you could send them a flyer, visit this
Right.
website, work on this together. We'll
Well, yeah, I
review
mean,
all
but
of
it could
this
be
that we learned today.
right. But I mean, for kids, it could be a fun little game too. It's like, because, you get a gold star if you
Hmm.
get 10, kind of thing
Oh yeah,
for
for sure.
passing your thing. And kids like things that stick on things. So,
Okay, number two, password and account security. Stress the importance of strong, unique passwords and the use of password managers. Encourage enabling MFA on school portals, email, and socials.
yeah. And don't use the same password everywhere. That goes for mom and dad at home. That goes for the
Hmm.
kids.
Hmm.
Um, you know, and then,
A
even if
password
it's
keeper.
something you think it's funny, yeah, I mean, use it. I mean, if it's a movie line quote, what's the one that we used at one time? I can't remember, but yeah, it was like "I'm a dick" or something like that. Was something that we gave
It's
someone as a
nope,
password.
nope. It was a movie quote from The Three
Yeah,
Amigos.
my point is that you need to, have that stuff out there. You can be creative, more creative, the better. So it just needs to be
Hmm.
unique and secure.
Okay. Number three, safe
Hmm.
social media and online behavior.
Hmm.
Underlying behavior. Remind students that what they post can follow them for years into college, jobs, reputation for a long time. Parents
Yeah.
should monitor younger kids' accounts and have open conversations about digital footprints.
So yeah, that stuff does last forever. I mean, and for a
Hmm.
while you would hear about these kids that get drafted in the NFL and they made some inappropriate post or they quoted some rap lyrics or something, and then all of a sudden they're doing this apology tour for using words that,
Yep.
they're 16-year-old kids quoting rap lyrics. They're not, you
Hmm.
know, stuff like that. And then the other big one is, be careful with those pictures you send to your little boyfriends and girlfriends. So that's a
I
dangerous
think,
thing. You may be in love
yep.
now, but you're 14.
Um, no, this is a thing that came up with my oldest pictures and some kids using AI to
Mhm.
create inappropriate pictures. And I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
no, no,
Yeah. That's bad stuff.
freaking
And it's getting
junior
worse.
high. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, talk about this with your kids. See what apps they're
Yeah.
using, what the apps
Yeah.
can do, who's in their contacts, who's what settings or whatever. Check
See,
it all.
yeah. See, when I was a kid, I didn't have that problem because you'd have to go take the picture.
Mm-mm.
Then you'd have to
Right.
go to Photomat and get the picture developed. And then you'd have
Mm-hmm.
video and give them the picture. Well,
Yep.
that's a lot of work.
It
And
is
the
not that
Photomat
way.
guys were making copies and doing all their other stuff. So you got
Oh,
to be,
boy.
careful with that. But back in the
No,
old
now they
film
just make
days,
fake ones. And
yeah,
but if your face is on it,
right. Who's to say it's
ugh,
not, you have to prove a negative that it's not you.
I hate that. I hate it.
Yeah.
Anyway, good old AI.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, and you know what? Going back just real quick back to those fake AI tools that we were talking about in that news story.
Yeah.
Any AI application that asks you to download something
Oh, yep.
is not going to be malware. Okay. You don't
Yeah, don't
download
download it.
anything to use AI. You're not running AI off your local. I don't care what Copilot says for Microsoft Word or any of that stuff. That stuff's back ending to something else. That is not running on your local. There's part of it that will run on your local, but you don't need that for ChatGPT or any of the rest of them. You don't need to download anything locally.
Yeah, I think that's good to know. It's good to point
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
That's something I should add, actually.
yeah,
Make a note of that.
yep. It's going to be for the checklist, ladies and gentlemen, that we're putting out on our website
Yes. Yeah.
for
That's gonna be exciting.
child and or kids and students and mom and
Hmm.
dads
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
safety at home.
Yeah, I think we might even, I didn't mention this before, so a surprise, put together a little
Yeah.
discussion guide, maybe.
Hmm. No, I think that'd be great.
Yeah, just get conversations going. And I think even if you can get people thinking about it enough, hopefully,
Hmm.
keyword there, they will maybe do some research on their own. But
I think so.
if we can put out some resources to at least get
Yeah,
them started, that'd be really great.
I
Anyway.
think this is a great idea.
All right. Number 4, recognizing scams and cyber threats. Train students to spot phishing emails, fake links, and suspicious messages in gaming/chat platforms. Parents should discuss common scams targeting kids. So, like free game cheats or fake scholarships. I didn't know that was a thing, but
Oh,
apparently
I'm
that's a
sure.
thing.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, I don't know if you've heard of any that you'd like to add to that.
Well, I mean, there's all kinds of things like that. And then I got, talked about before of all the grooming that goes on over like the video games because you're just on Xbox or whatever it is, and you got your
Roblox.
headset on and yeah, Roblox or one of those. You
Hmm.
There's grooming going on. And these,
Hmm.
child traffickers are professionals at this. This is a generational thing for them. And,
Hmm.
they know what they're doing. And then, yeah, it's disgusting, but it's something that you have to take seriously. And if you're not
Hmm.
monitoring what your kids are doing,
Yeah, you
then
have to.
that's how this happens. And,
Hmm.
and it doesn't just happen to, poor kids. It happens to rich kids and it happens to, middle class kids. And it's not, it's a problem for everybody. It's not a problem for some certain class or race or anything like that. It's an issue. And the only way we get through this is by educating people. And I think for far
Hmm.
too long,
Yeah.
people have been on computers at home and like, oh, I'll just figure it out. It's like, no, You do need some professional help here and every once in a while. I mean, the reason you go and get a driver's ed class is to learn how to drive. You don't just get handed a car.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
You don't know what you don't know. And if you don't even know what to look for,
right.
you just,
There you go.
the likelihood is you're just going to miss it. All right. Number 5, open communication and reporting. Encourage kids to tell a parent, teacher, or trusted adult if they encounter cyberbullying or suspicious activity.
Yep.
Parents should create a judgment-free environment so kids
Yeah.
feel safe reporting issues quickly. That
Yeah.
felt preachy. Sorry.
It's 100% accurate though,
Yeah.
because they use shame, and I think
Hmm.
we talked about
Yep.
this before because this happened to a kid I know. It's a
Hmm.
friend of mine's son um, was contacted by this, alleged 20-something-year-old woman on Snapchat or one of those, and you know, she sent pictures of her nude, and she asked him for return, and
Hmm.
all of a sudden, once he did that, luckily he was smart enough to not send his head. He just sent a body. But the fact of the matter is, all of a sudden they go into the forcing the shame. I'm telling your parents, I'm showing
Hmm.
this to your friends, I'm doing this,
Yep.
so all this insulting stuff about your body and all this kind of stuff. And why would anybody want to have anything to do with you and blah, 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 because they're trying to manipulate the kids. And if you don't want this to happen, if you don't want this, you don't want to have this posted everywhere and given to all your friends,
Mm-mm.
clean out your savings account and ask your parents for more money. And once you
Right.
pay, you are always a victim. Yeah, it's not fair. It's not right.
No, no, it's not.
So,
Anyway. So, all right. So today we learned strong passwords, have awareness of scams, and open
mhm.
communication, I think would be. So we're gonna have a checklist that we're gonna get put up on our website.
Yep.
And yeah, like we talked about just a minute ago, maybe putting together a guide. I should have talked about
Yeah.
that sooner.
Maybe doing some training for schools.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a good idea.
One other thing for home that often gets neglected is patching and
Oh,
making sure
yeah.
everything's up to date.
Yeah,
Because
that's for sure.
I got a text from a friend of mine the other day, and she's like, "I'm going to send you an email." I said, "Okay," and she's like,
Okay.
"But she's like, I'm gonna blind copy you on this email to someone who's giving me crap, and I want you to just tell me what you think." So, about an hour later, I'm like, "Did you send it?" She's like, "Well, no, I'm waiting for my computer to update." And then
Oh.
she's like, I said, "What do you mean?" She's like, "It's been like a month since I updated my computer and now it's forcing it." It's like, well, yeah, dummy. You do it all the time. And make sure antivirus
Exactly.
is up to date and make sure it's not the
Hmm.
free antivirus stuff. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've dealt with people. Well, I got the free antivirus. It's like, spend the $19 a year, please.
Yeah. We should look into that. Would that cover like computer, phones, tablets?
It depends on some of them. I mean, there is, like the plan that we use for the business covers,
Hmm.
your computers and all the other computers that we have for the
Multiple
company.
devices.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and then we have, the Bit Defender on the phones too. So
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, it covers everything.
Yeah, because I have one kid with a phone and two
Well,
kids with tablets, and
if we need to
so
push it
yeah,
to her phone and those tablets, you let me know and we'll do that. Um,
yeah.
so
So this episode we're doing questions a little different.
mhm,
I'm just gonna ask some open-ended questions for you
mhm.
guys to think about. Maybe ask your kids. I
Yep.
don't know. Might be a good idea.
Hey, yep.
Uh, Number 1, do you know what personal information is safe and unsafe to share online?
Well, I would just say as little personal information as possible,
Hmm.
you can, if you think about what you get asked when you call in for a credit card for validation or something like that, that kind of data,
Hmm.
if it's out there, everybody's got access to it. So be careful what
Hmm.
you send, what you share.
Yeah.
Never share a middle name. Um,
Hmm.
Mother's maiden name used to be a big deal, still is, but that kind of stuff. But it's something you have to ask and you have to look up. And I think it would be better if the people look this stuff up so they got some more investment into it.
All right. Two, what would you do if someone you don't know sent you a friend request or message?
I would ignore
Three.
it, but I would recommend
Yeah.
that they ignore it as well, you know.
Three, do you feel comfortable coming to me or another trusted adult if something online makes you uneasy? So these are questions that you'd be asking your kids.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, that's a great question.
Four, how strong are your passwords? And do you use a different one for each account? I think most kids would be like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Five, do you know how to check and update the privacy settings on your favorite apps or games?
That's a
I'm
good
gonna
question.
say,
I'm betting most people don't. They just tap through that,
mm-hmm,
you know.
mm-hmm. Six, what would you do if someone online asked you to keep a secret from your parents? Seven, do you know how to spot a scam message, fake profile, or suspicious link? I think that one's tricky. That one's tricky. That one might
You
be
need some you need some education on that one.
eight. Where are the devices kept in our home, and do we use them in shared spaces? Which is also something that is a good idea. Make sure that you're around your kids while they're on their devices.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just make sure it's like locked down.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you do
because
you.
when you don't want your lonely, sullen teenager, sitting in their bedroom texting random strangers, that's how they
No.
disappear.
Nine, what apps, games, or websites do you use most often, and do we review them together before installing? So
Yeah.
yeah, make sure you know what is on your kids' phones or tablets or whatever else. What
Hmm.
what can be accessed on there, who can access them, or who can they access on there?
Hmm.
And 10, how do you handle it if someone says something mean or hurtful to you online? That's been something that we've dealt with a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Because they're little kids,
Yeah.
and Roblox, because that's what they usually play that has access to other people. And it's like they could be adults, really, but it's like you
Yeah.
just don't even open that window. Just keep it
Yeah.
closed, keep it
Yeah.
minimized. Just don't even just
Well,
don't
it
even
goes
open
back to the bullying that goes about, a lot of the social engineering stuff, right? I mean,
it.
so it's a scary, scary world out there, not just for business, but at home. So,
I mean, a lot of times my kids figure stuff out before I do on their games. And so I'm like, I know I'm not the only parent that does that.
but you can figure out the security stuff much faster than they can.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But if they'll be like, "Hey, can you help me figure this out?" And I'm like, I don't know why
Ask
you're
your
asking
sister.
me. Yeah, yeah. You're gonna get this in 2.5. It's gonna take me an hour.
Well, yeah, I mean, what it comes down to is that, you got to take care of your kids. Your kids are your kids online. You can't trust them, even though you don't understand the computer necessarily or understand what
Hmm.
they're doing. You have to parent on technology just like you have to parent on everything else.
Hmm.
You're not going to let your kid go play with a rattlesnake. Don't let them play with the digital rattlesnake. I mean, that's
Yeah.
really, you
Hmm.
know, so a little healthy fear never hurt anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think if we can get some of these resources out there to help them recognize some of those potential ooh,
Hmm.
things to
Yeah.
look out for, might be a good
Yeah.
idea.
All right. We're wrapping this one up, ladies and gentlemen, early. We are not heading to the bar because we got like nine more meetings today. This is an early morning podcast, if you
It
can't tell.
is.
But on that note, y'all have a great day. Thanks for listening.